Oh man. Oh gosh, that's small. Oh geez, where's that? Oh gosh, my computer's chugging hard. Alright guys, we're on the internet or interstate system. Would you look at that? Wow. This is some cool technology here. I bet you're wondering how to do it. Do you need a way? Freaking weather. Are you still old school in Minecraft and still building rails to get yourself from point A to point B? Boy, have I got something for you. Do you ever have the problem to where you can't switch tracks and all you have to get out of the cart to actually get to another track? What fun is that? You want a completely automated system by building this. This is called the Switcheroo Railway Track System. Very simple to operate. You go in and you want to go to I-95 South, you're going to click this and it's going to take you right there. And if you want to go to the John Ice Stadium, just a click away right here. How does this work? That's what today's video is about. Stay tuned to see how this works. Now, I bet you're wondering how this works. But before we get into that, you need to know the complex history that went behind this. These little bad boys are over 5 years old. They were designed and implemented in the experiment swamp right over here. Now you might be thinking, wow, this doesn't look like an experiment swamp. It probably looks like an airport. That's because the experiment swamp was converted into an airport about a year ago. You can still see some of the remnants of the experiment swamp. Sadly, the historic monument where we first figured out how to do the switcheroo is buried under the airport. Now obviously I can't interact what happened because obviously I can't reenact what happened because it happened a long time ago. But we were bored one day and we wanted a way to switch from one track to the other with your choice and being able to stay into the cart. So we built a complex machine in order to accomplish this goal. That is when we invented the switcheroo. The interstate system. In this Minecraft world, we happen to have a very complex interstate system that goes on for many kilometers. Has many different split paths, and every building is always connected to an interstate system. Now as you can see, you're like, wow, how is there so many split-offs? Well, that's because we use the switcheroos to be able to go from rail to rail. Join me as we delve into the deep history of the switcheroo. Oh my gosh, that's loud. Now as you can see, these rails go on for so long. Look, there's a switcheroo right there. It has become one of the most well-used machines in this Minecraft world that's been... I don't even know how old this thing. It's very old. This thing was made back into the early days of Minecraft when the redstone block came out. Now I bet you're thinking, why didn't you just choose another form of transportation? Like, why didn't you just build your buildings closer together? Well, you see, we wanted to get the idea that this is real. This isn't just Minecraft. We built two countries, and we needed a way to separate the countries but be able to get there by normal Minecraft means instead of flying. So that's why we built this interstate system to get from point A to point B, old school style. Okay, my game's frozen. We built it old school style. As you can see, most of the railroads have these fences around it to keep from monsters. Now, why didn't we just turn the world peaceful? That's before peaceful was in, well, I don't know. I don't know. And we're off. Stupid weather. Now I bet you're thinking, why can't he just tell me how to make this? Well, before you get this power that no man alone should have, we need to delve into some more of the riveting history behind this particular machine. Now let's head to the war zone. This fallen flag represents the brutal war that happened between my country and my brother's country. Lots went down here. It was intense. There was many explosions and many walls built. It was a tough time. That didn't stop us from coming together and forming the switcheroo. The switcheroo has always been a unifying machine for everybody. It has always kept our countries together, and now that the war is over, we keep this area of land as a section of, as a memorial, and to hope that this never happens again. How does the switcheroo relate to this? Well, so I bet you're thinking, why has this video been going on for so long? Why isn't he just telling me how to make a switcheroo? Well, that all comes in time. First, we need to know the absolute power of these devices. Before you fully understand something, you gotta know understand how powerful it can be, and how with much power comes great responsibility. Here I show you this, the most complicated set of switcheroos on this Minecraft world. There are so many, it has polluted this desert and caused many ecosystems to fail. This is where the responsibility comes in. You need to be careful when building these, because it can end up like this, and this entire desert ecosystem, which I'm sure many things we're living in, is completely gone because of this interstate system. You need to understand that this is a great power, and now, before we, I'm almost going to tell you how to build one, but before we get into it, we need to talk about the two different types of switcheroos. We got the original switcheroos and we got the upgraded switcheroos. So this is the original switcheroo, made with wooden blocks and fences to keep the monsters out, with a glass block here to keep anything out. Usually these are encased in wooden fences, but they can sometimes be encased in bricks. Now it's a lot harder and more expensive to build them with bricks, so I recommend, if you're going to build the original, just put this and put some torches around that. Now let's move on to the upgrade system by our museum here. This system is made with only the finest steel and steel bars as to prevent wear and tear by much usage. And it is not made with wooden trapdoors. We have the upgraded iron trapdoors that didn't come until a later update. We now have stone buttons instead of wooden buttons to prevent wear and tear. And we have the same kind of redstone pattern. It's the exact same, except our wool block is now replaced with a block of iron as to keep the continuity of what block we're using. Oh my gosh, my world is lagging so hard. I forgot about that. Oh gosh, jeez. I forgot I made this. This is tough. That's a lot of villagers. Alright, so as we pass over this horse stadium, we're about to show you how I'm about to show you how to make this particular piece of machinery. So the first thing you need to obviously do is build a hole. It needs to be about this deep. You know, something a track can fit under. Now you have a hole about this big. Now we can get started with the more complicated building. Let's get to the button choices. You're gonna have to put, you know, any material you like, just not sand. Of course it will fall. Now you can quite easily put buttons here, and this is where the signs will go later on. Now on the very edge of this hole, you're going to want a sticky piston. That's not a sticky piston. A sticky piston right here, and a block of choice. Sometimes you do wool, so you can feel like there's more cushion there. Now you're going to need a piston under this, so you're going to need one about right here, with a redstone block in the middle, like so. We're like halfway there. So now you're going to need a trapdoor. It could be a trapdoor of your choice. I'm going to choose the dark oak trapdoor because I've never used that before. We're going to throw that there. This is where the cart will land in order to proceed to choosing the track. Now all you're going to need is a redstone signal going to each of these pistons. So for the right one, you're going to, or for this button, you're going to want it to activate this piston. So you're really just going to want to put a redstone signal right here. Then you're going to want a signal wrapping all the way around to this button over here. There we go. Perfect. Check to see if the buttons work, which they should. Perfect. So now you got the main mechanic down. Now you need to put down the tracks and make it work with a minecart. What you need to do is put a powered rail right through here, and then you can make it go back up onto the land. It has to be falling because otherwise you won't be able to do it right. So you need to put the tracks down, and now they're just like this. So now you can put a redstone block to power each of the rails, just like so. Now you're ready to build the track going into it. You're going to want a powered rail track to get some speed going in, just like this. At this point, you can decorate however you want. For me, I'm going to put a sign. So you can put your signs however you want. So yeah, you can have signs right there. Perfect, and that indicates which button. Now I think it should be ready. You can just stick it right here. So you come to your crossroads. Okay, I want to go left. And just like that, you're going on the left track. Same thing if you want to go right, you can go on the right side. I hope you learned something today. It's a really easy method to switch tracks, and also I hope you learned a little bit of history behind this machine.